Order. Jackie, we have publics to be heard.
Pledge.
Pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
to the
to the
republic
republic which stands
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
I have one, Shira Fernandez.
Right to it.
Right to it.
She,
Please, go.
this one's fine. Okay. Shira Fernandez, I live over on Mountain View Avenue, 31. It's in between the Mountain View lot and the other little lots of the bed and breakfast. You getting where I'm talking about? I'm not getting, okay. Oh, what's that? Okay, so I've been trying to communicate with Mr. Wilburn in your absence, Mr. McKenna, and Police Chief Keefe, and not really. Finally, I got through with Chief Keefe. I really wanted to have a meeting with yourself or Mr. McKenna and him together. Wasn't able to happen. I haven't been getting calls back from either of you guys, so Chief Keefe did get me. So, I mean, I get half of the story. What's my story? The Mountain View lot, there's no sign up, and the town code says there's no overnight parking there, but that seems to be a mystery to everybody, and up until...
You're talking about in the vehicle and traffic part of the code? The reason why I ask is, do you see how overnight parking is defined?
Yeah, I talked to enough people, and Ellen Cachero on the codes, and I have the code noted, and it was in the letter that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So, you should have that information. And no overnight parking, and there's no sign. People don't seem to know about it. I've called many times. The police, who it says in the code are supposed to come, they've told me it's okay that they park overnight. My final conversation with Chief Keefe is that he gets that they're not supposed to be, but they've been being lenient. Nobody ever calls me back to tell me anything. You know, the police say, what's your number so they can get back to you? Don't get back to me. There's been not just people selling cars, not just, you know, a car parked here or there. There's been tractor trailers. I've seen kids playing on the top of them. There's been campers, you know. So over these months that I've been calling, and the law's on the books, it needs to be enforced. I mean, I pay taxes, you know, it's my quality of life too. I didn't sign up to look at all these cars. When I bought the house recently, no overnight parking, daytime, I knew I was dealing with that. You know, and I know there's been talk about having that. The other part is the Colony Cafe coming down the line, and the talk about having that for overnight parking and parking problems in general being reevaluated in town. So I'm here to say that today was a perfect day to look at the wetlands issue, because the water came barreling off of that parking lot down the path into the area in between my house and there, where there's a culvert that hasn't been cleaned out for years. And I have tried to work on a thing to keep it moving. And so fluids and things like that, tractor trailers, you get 3 minutes? Two minutes, okay. So I need to have somebody talk to me and take care of...
If you have a minute, I'll talk to you right now. If you read the
If
code...
it's your time, not mine, I'm
good.
good.
I'm not saying...
Your time's
That's
done.
I'm going to try to address what you're talking about and why it is difficult for the police to enforce the overnight parking. If you look at how overnight parking is defined in the law, it's considered overnight parking if you are sleeping in the vehicle or if you are using that vehicle for the storage of goods. So the other way of reading that is that if you're not sleeping in the vehicle and if the vehicle is not being used for the storage of goods, overnight parking is not prohibited.
I debate that. We'll have to sit down and look at that code, because I don't agree with you on that.
Okay, well, just go to definitions. In the
Not a
definitions,
problem, just because you're telling me that doesn't mean
Okay.
that
Okay.
I'm buying that, what I understood it to say, what I've talked to other people.
No, I'm not asking you to buy it, but
Right.
I...
So it would be
I
nice if
hope
you got
that-
back to me.
Wait, let me finish. I listen to you, I want you to listen to me. Okay? It's, whether you buy it or not, I'm offering that to you in sincerity. So I hope you accept that.
I don't accept that, but thank you, and
Thank you,
you
okay.
need to
Next.
call, why do you not call me back?
I'm sorry, I didn't know you requested a call.
Oh, I've called
I
you
did
many
speak with
times,
you. I did speak with you
and
on
we
the
spoke
phone.
about the Showtime fiasco, as far as I'm
Well, and
concerned,
this
the
issue as
go-to
well.
parking
That was
lot.
something you had brought up, yes.
No, you weren't around when I
brought.
brought this up, you never got back to me on this, you may have talked to
Okay.
Mr. McKenna, he's the one who did call me once, but didn't call me more than that, so am I not supposed to have the respect of having the call back so that we can discuss it more than 2 minutes?
You know what? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were expecting a call back.
It says in the note that I did, and I called and left messages, so
Okay,
I
I believe you. Is that
That's
it?
it, yeah.
no,
Do you have any announcements?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
In this week's edition of the Woodstock Times, at the bottom of the front page, there's an article about Earth Guardians and their attempt to empower the young. And, excuse me. There's a couple of assertions here from Rachel Marco Havens, and which I don't all agree with. And here's the few words that I wanted to mention. They don't, she's referring to the young people, they don't have a voice in politics. And as far as I understand and can see, anybody and everybody can have a voice in politics. Young people, older people are welcome to come here, raise issues. They can contact each one of us, people who are interested in politics, contact each one of us individually. One of our members, Laura Rickey, is the chair of the Democratic Committee. I'm sure that the Democratic Committee would be thrilled to have young people coming in and talking to them, asking questions, making suggestions. I imagine that the Republican committee would do the same thing. But certainly I wanted to mention in relation to that statement that this town board is wide open. And I hope that that word gets published. Thank you.
Yep, and you're correct about the Woodstock Democratic Committee, we're wide open too, and we do have public meetings, and people of any age are welcome to come listen in. But very good point, and I think a lot of us, as you say, embrace the youth becoming involved. People of any age being involved is a good thing.
Yeah. Because when I was a teenager, I had absolutely no interest in politics. Nevertheless.
We're stuck with you.
Yes, you've made up for it.
Thanks.
Okay, anyone else? Good. Let me offer the following resolutions. Be it resolved to accept minutes for meetings held on January 19 and February 9, 2016.
Second.
Yeah, before, could we break that into two? Because I
Just make your note.
Just make your note.
make my note.
Mhm. You're abstaining from which?
From the January 19th, because I was not here, so
Okay, it'll be noted in the minutes.
Aye. Or a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
yeah, I for February 9th, abstained for January 19th.
Mhm. Be it resolved to accept the town clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Did you like that amount?
Yeah, that was
That was a nice amount.
amount.
Sorry, it's all over
Do
now.
it next month. Do it next month, and then
Next
we'll
month
get the
there is
raise.
no
Be resolved to authorize transfers per the transfer sheet.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So vote.
Be resolved to authorize payment of audit vouchers in the amount of $2,045,838.91.
Second.
And just in case anyone is curious,
I was just going to ask.
1.3 million of that goes to the fire department because we collect their taxes. And 525 for the library,
565
565 goes to the library.
Doesn't leave a lot for us.
So, All in
And
favor?
left for those kisses.
Aye.
Yeah. That's about
Okay,
it.
be it resolved to authorize the supervisor to sign an in lieu of parking schedule for multiple payments agreement with LISAB LLC of 95 Tinker Street, Woodstock, New York, 12498.
Second.
Any questions about this from anybody?
I guess I didn't know what it was about, LIS.
This would be, these are the 4 parking spots the planning board required the train station peoples to purchase, and
Okay.
they would like to do it in multiple payments.
Mhm.
And the agreement calls for them paying down $900 and paying $540 in 5 payments.
Okay.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to appoint Connor Wink to the Woodstock
Yes,
Planning Board effective
Yes, he
January
recused
12,
himself.
2016, term to expire 12/31/18.
Second.
Wait, you have to recuse.
His grandfather
You will
had to.
recuse?
You
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Be resolved to waive fees for use of the town, well, let me read the announcement first. This is again from the Route 212 group. Let me just say something about the Route 212. The 2 young ladies who have been primarily representative of this group. They are doing, in my opinion, extremely valuable work. The presentation that I went and saw at the high school last week was just, I think, one of the most important forums that our community has witnessed. And certainly on this issue of the drug epidemic that not just we, but the entire nation is apparently suffering. There was just a lot of information presented at this forum. I suspect that this resolution is offering a couple of town buildings to waive fees for another one of these kinds of forums, information for the public. All I'm saying is that if you are at all concerned, and you should be, with the issue of addiction, of the opiate that are just flooding through the town, and not just our town, but again, all over our nation, this is something that you want to attend. The Route 212 Coalition is, I think, a very, very responsible voice. They simulated a team of very accomplished people to speak on the various topics ever pertaining to this issue. And I just hope that there's a good turnout for this. I hope that people, when they see an announcement from the Route 212 Coalition, will pay very close attention to the message that they're offering. So what their message is, they're happy to announce their first, the More You Know, a monthly series forum. And I thank the Woodstock Town Board for giving them a venue for this. They are going to, the forum itself will be in the Woodstock Town Hall on February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. If you have children and you think, gee whiz, I can't get there because I don't have any care for my children, well, they have trained child care providers at the community center. And you can go there as early as 6 p.m. with your children and leave them with these trained child care providers and go to the forum. And kids will even feed the kids some pizza. Anyway, at the meeting, there's going to be presentations, one by the Route 212 Coalition, Ulster County Sheriff's Department, and it's called Drugs 101, an identification and information session. And then Eric Day-Anthrone, who is the Director of Regional Services at Arms Acres in Conifer Park, will be talking on the barriers faced when trying to get your loved one into treatment. I know there's a lot of people who've had frustration with that. Nicole Tapia, who is a certified health insurance navigator, and will be speaking about navigating and obtaining insurance, because rehabs, of course, very often demand that. Anyway, I think there's going to be a lot of useful information at this forum, so with that, I'd like to offer the following resolution: being resolved to waive fees for the use of the Town Hall and Community Center from 6 p.m. on February 23, 2016 to hold and support a forum and informational hearings pertaining to drug addiction and treatment for drug addiction.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved to reformat the annual disclosure form to reflect the non-substantive changes recommended by the Ethics Board. And you all see the form there.
Second.
Yeah, that's not in our packet tonight.
Oh, but it's here in the minutes. It's very non-substantive. They
Is
just
it the one
want.
that they just everybody got?
Yes,
Oh, then everybody's seen it.
yes, everyone's seen it, and I told them, they were concerned that gee whiz, this didn't really get the point of the imprimatur of the town board. So
Oh,
I said, we'd bring it to the town board and get their formal imprimatur. And again,
It's not on
it's
here.
not a substantive change, it's just really more of a formatting change than anything else. And they wanted to include language stating that they have read and understood the ethics law, which is already in there. So that's that. All in favor? I think. God help us. That's all our business. Yes, sir. Did you have your hand up? I'm sorry. No.
No.
Bill,
He was making a motion to adjourn.
Maybe we can sit here.
Thou shalt extend no meaning beyond its God-given mind.
What am I gonna